From the Cheap Seat Sports Bar and Grill in Champaign, Illinois, Ford of Tuscola proudly presents to you the Behind the Mic Show, featuring sports, comedy, and entertainment. Now here's your hosts, Keith Gibson and Sam Irwin.
Welcome, everyone, to the Behind the Mic Show from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill. With you as always, and I have returned, people. The great one is back from vacation, tanned, refreshed, feeling great. And with me as always, my co-host, the editor-in-chief, the coup de grace of podcast. I give you Keith Gibson. Keith Gibson, how are we doing today?
Tired.
Oh boy, you're showing houses.
I tell you what, Sam Irwin, I never thought of selling a house and trying to buy a house and do a show and still work. You know, I never thought it'd wear me down like this. But I tell you what, showing house, got the house up for sale, 24 in the last 4 days. People come in, I gotta leave.
Real estate market.
Can't even see my own house.
Real estate market's hot. I can't believe they kick you out of your own house to show a house. Like it'd matter if you're sitting there eating Cheetos in your lounge chair. That seems homey to me.
Well, One would think people would. If I want to sit in a recliner with nothing but my undies on and eat Cheetos, what's it matter?
Sells itself.
Right.
I say it looks comfortable.
Right.
You're at home. They're like, God, I could see myself there. But no, they kick you out. It's ridiculous. I think it's a conspiracy is what I think. But 24 showings already, and you just posted it this week.
Yeah, last Saturday. So it's been a busy time. We hopefully get some offers and get this the house sold so we can get moved and build a new and improved Cheap Seats.
Ooh. Now, where will this be located, Keith Gibson?
In Monticello, Illinois.
Uh-huh. And I saw the pictures of the new house. It looks lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah. But the Cheap Seats itself, where will it be? Is it out in the garage? Because I seen a 3-bay garage.
It is a 3-bay garage. And I've been given the third bay.
Oh, you've been allowed. Once again, boy, she is a giver. Give till it hurts.
Well, you know what? I think it's just her thing is just to get me out of the house. Just go out and leave me alone sometimes. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
So
can't be around each other 24/7.
Gonna look a little different in there. I've got some design ideas already. Gonna look a little different. A little more loungy than bar.
More like a VIP club almost.
Almost, yes.
Velvet rope or no?
Possibly.
Ooh.
Maybe gotta get through the velvet rope to get in. All 6 people.
All 6. Yeah.
Other than that, though, no, I'm good. It's been a good week, a good Labor Day weekend. Once again, I want to thank Brian Lane for joining us last week and filling in for you. And so
he did a fantastic job.
He did.
Yep.
So
yep, he's good.
Let's talk about you, Mr. Sunshine, sunrise, sunsets, nice tans. Did you enjoy your little break away from reality?
I did. It is a beautiful place, Gulf Shores, Alabama. If you ever get the chance to go, I highly recommend it. We stayed on the beach, which was nice, in a nice condo unit. Every morning when you wake up, it's right there. You can just hear the waves crashing in, which is nice.
Peaceful.
And drink very peaceful. Drink your coffee, things like that, and then get ready to go out and sweat your bag ass off. Basically, is what happens later. Because I'm gonna tell you, folks, it's beautiful if you're under an umbrella and the breeze is blowing off the Gulf. I mean perfection. But boy, Keith Gibson, in Gulf Shores, Alabama, when the wind ain't blowing, ooh, that's a whole different level of heat that you're just not quite used to. You're from Western Kentucky, middle of mid-state Illinois,
right.
Southern Illinois. It's a whole different level of hot. But no, beautiful. I highly recommend it, and a lot of fun. Some incredible sunrises and sunsets, and it was just really nice. Really nice.
Good.
Everyone enjoyed. It's amazing how you drive that far to go to the beach, and the 6-year-old just wants to go swim in the pool that's at the condo, even though you got this large pool out here, but salt water, sand,
right.
Things like that. So, but no, it was a lot of fun. Good food, man. Ate at a place called Lulu's. Just boats there. Went on a dolphin cruise. I mean, we did it all, Keith.
Good for
you.
It all.
So
good for you.
So it was nice. It was good, relaxing. I mean, as you know, there's a midget around. There's not a whole lot of relaxing,
right?
But I will give Amanda credit. Amanda, after 3 years basically of being around each other, she has figured me out as she can tell by a look upon my face or how I answer a question of, hey, do you need some time yourself? Like, That sounds great. Yes.
I'm going to go take a walk.
Yeah, so I did one morning, and I tell you what, Keith Gibson, as you walk along, there was a pier in the distance. I thought, I'm going to walk to that and back. I walk every morning, 4 miles, right? So I went on a walk, a lot different in the sand and that blistering heat. Even though it was in the morning, I was gone for an hour and 45 minutes, didn't even know it. She was texting me, she's like, are you okay? Are you dead? And I'm like, just on a walk. So I got back. She goes, "You were gone for an hour and 45 minutes." I was like, "Oh wow!"
Needed it.
So I got 2 blisters on my feet from walking in the sand.
Your
I guess
tender feet, I tell you.
I tell you, you're just out selling alcohol. Your hands get smooth, and so do your feet. Pretty weak, but no. Overall, good deal. So how about you? What's been going on? Haven't talked to you in a week.
House. Buy, sell, work, and show. That's my life. Yeah, but hey, we got a big show coming up today. We got a lot of sports to talk about. The NFL starts tonight, NFL season, so we'll talk about that and some news. We got some big news like last week after the show. We got a couple signings we'll talk about. We'll talk about the Bucks and how they crumbled in the playoffs.
Boy.
We'll talk about the passing of Lou Brock and Tom Seaver and what they meant to the game of baseball. Hated seeing that. We'll talk about Djokovic getting DQ'd at the U.S. Open.
Boy,
that's a John Yates move right there. And then we'll really get into it in our Fast Five and talk about, is the NBA smart to start allowing guests in the bubble after having such a great result of having nobody else in there? So we'll get into that. Of course, we'll have our Bees Trees trivia. Laner made it 9 in a row last week. We got a winner, Dallas Dury and Heather Dury from Florida were our winners last week. So this week, Sammy, we go for 10. 10. Look, 10.
Yeah, oh, man. I can't wait.
We go for 10 weeks in a row. That's that's more than a winning streak.
Oh, that's
something. But we'll have our Dumb Criminal of the Week, and then, of course, we'll have a big interview with Ira Dean tonight, formerly a Trick Pony, but a great musician, guitarist, and getting ready to go on tour. I saw getting ready to play in September with Aaron Lewis of Stained, which would be a wonderful show. We'll talk to him, too, and catch up with him. So, big show, Sammy.
Excited. This is going to be a good one.
All right, let's take a quick break here from our presenting sponsor, Ford of Tuscola. And we'll be right back here on the Behind the Mic Show from the Cheap Seat Sports Bar and Grill in Champaign, Illinois, and the Cat Palace in Paducah, Kentucky.
Summer is here, and at Ford of Tuscola, the deals are hot. Right now at Ford of Tuscola, all new Fords are priced to sell, and our pre-owned inventory starts from under $3,000. Check out our selection online at FordofTuscola.com or get pre-approved for financing on any of our vehicles at www.cucarloans.com. That's the letter C, the letter U, carloans.com. Ford of Tuscola, small town feel with great big deals.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Behind the Mic Show. Sam Irwin here, the man of the people. Keith Gibson is back.
I know.
And you're welcome. So nice to be back. Really excited to be here. But Keith Gibson, no time to waste.
Oh.
It is time for the Fast Five.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Hit me.
Here we go. News. First off, NFL news. Keith Gibson, tonight it is Chiefs. It is Texans. It is the 2 highest paid quarterbacks going at it. Do you love it?
Yeah, I love the football's back. Do I think they're both overpaid? Will Deshaun Watson make it 4 years and make his entire... He's guaranteed $101 million.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an offensive line to... It's a good thing he got 101 guaranteed money. I'm happy the NFL's back, Sam, when I am. I think it'll be exciting. My fantasy football team took a massive hit already. It wasn't good to begin with, but, somebody's got to win, and it won't be me.
Right, no, we're just there to play. One thing I will say about Deshaun Watson is I am really glad that he got that money. I think he's earned it.
Yes.
I think he's a good person. And I think also, if you recall, back in the Clemson title game, they kind of had a story about him. Warwick Dunn, former NFL great and college great. God, I hated him when he was at Florida State because he was so good. And he had a great NFL career as well. Took a lot of his money and bought homes for single mothers. Well, Deshaun Watson was one of those kids that benefited from that. In fact, Deshaun Watson said that it basically turned his whole life around and helped the kid out. Now, and ever since he's been in the pros, he has helped people. Now with this money, imagine what this kid is, because he is a phenomenal person. Yep. The amount of money that he got is a ton, but think how many people he's going to help. It's going to be fantastic. The video you saw where he was signing the contract, his press conference, and it had his family kind of beam in. That
Surprise
was cool.
yep.
If that didn't bring a tear to a glass eye right there, I'll tell you what. But
hey, quick question for you. I asked Lane
Yes.
last week. I'll ask you the same question. Does anybody beat the Chiefs in the AFC?
No.
Patriots will. Cam Newton's my MVP.
Ooh, Cam Newton, baby.
Yep.
Cam Newton.
I think
Hey, you know what?
Cam has a huge year.
That's going well. That's going well. Going well. Speaking of Cam Newton, kind of ties in here because the Bears could have picked him up for literally nothing, and instead, Mitchell Trubisky's been named the starter again, Keith Gibson. The Bears continue to suck and make terrible decisions. Could have had Cam Newton, Keith Gibson, a healthy, who's tearing it up right now.
I sit here in the cheap seats. Could have had Cam Newton. Could have had him. Could have had him.
Could have had him.
Nope.
Now it's Mitchell Trubisky.
We got draft picks
God,
of Mitchell Trubisky. Gave it up. We
God.
suck again.
We suck again. So other than that, Keith, what are your thoughts about the Bears this season? Now let's not forget we gave Nick Foles got a lot of money.
$41 million
to be a backup. Like you couldn't have got someone else and saved the money.
You couldn't have paid Cam Newton $1 million, couple mil, 3, 5, 10, and saved $31 million.
Take a chance. If you're going to start Mitchell Trubisky anyway, give it to Cam Newton. Give him $1 million. If it don't work out, fine.
Adam Pace needs fired. If Nagy doesn't win 11 games or 12 games this year, he needs fired. The Bears need an overhaul quickly because the front office is not holding up to standards.
Dumpster fire.
Yes.
I mean, it's an embarrassment is what they've turned into. They are awful in every way. They haven't made a good decision.
I think the defense will be fine.
Oh,
I really do. But the defense can't score.
That's right. Unless, Khalil Mack gets a strip sack fumble and takes it for a touchdown. That's the only way they score.
Right.
So now the hope is Mitchell Trubisky makes this big step.
Well, you can hope in one hand and do something else in the other. You might as well just hold the other hand out because we've seen what Mitchell Trubisky does. I have a better shot at hitting receivers than Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, it's, and you feel, but Keith, we said this a long time ago. Whenever they drafted him, he only had 1 year of experience at North Carolina, and they gave up all those picks for a kid that was unproven. And then they could have gotten Deshaun Watson. They could have got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, let's not remind me.
Yeah, so many bad things. So anyway, let's move on. Also, the Tennessee Titans may have to go to a game because our friend of the show, Stephen Gostkowski, signs a free agent deal. Got a year deal. Good for him. And Jadeveon Clowney as well. Tennessee loading up a little bit.
I like that. I think Tennessee's going to be strong. I really do. You got Henry back, too, as well. I think Tennessee's going to be a good team. Congratulations to Stephen Gostkowski. Who we've had on the show, and I was happy to finally see him sign somewhere. I was a little worried it was getting late in the game, but happy to see him sign. By the way, speaking of kickers, did you see the Colts said Adam Vinatieri? See ya. How do you do that, Adam Vinatieri?
Well, if you ain't kicking good, then you got to go. I guess at some point you got to hang it up. He had a heck of a career, but it was the kicker from Georgia.
Yeah.
Undrafted free agent, but apparently got out-kicked. But I think Vinatieri kind of in the last couple years hasn't been the same. Time marches on. The man's like 85
What do you
years old,
say? Father
kicking.
Time has never lost?
Yep, undefeated, baby.
Yep.
Father Time, that's right. And I was kind of surprised that our buddy Gostkowski did not go to Tampa Bay because they're signing everybody else, and he could have been reunited with Tom Brady. Got him another ring, perhaps. Tampa Bay is loading up, Keith Gibson.
He lives in Ohio and is now in Nashville. A little closer to home.
So, yeah, and he's got a year now to show that he's back healthy, still as good, and he'll get a better deal down the road from somewhere. But also, Keith Gibson, your running back you drafted in fantasy, Leonard Fournette, signs with Tampa Bay.
I like it.
So Tom Brady has more weapons now total than he's ever had on offense.
I still think they're an 8-8 team.
Ooh. Well, we'll see how healthy Tom Brady is and how strong that arm is once he gets to the middle of the season towards the end. Yes, sir. All right, any other things on the NFL, Keith Gibson?
No.
I do have one thing I want to add. So it has been – I saw a report came out that the Dallas Cowboys said that they will do some type of protest to start the game. Okay? So that's got, of course, people up in arms, and I'm not watching, and I'm done with sports. You've seen the people complain about baseball and basketball. Now they're complaining about the NFL. Keith Gibson, what are your thoughts on people that say, I'm not watching sports anymore because it's just too many protests? What are your thoughts? You're
still going to watch it, so just shut up and sit down.
I agree. And you know what I say, too, to this?
I'm just being flat honest, Sam. If you're a sports fan, you're a sports fan. You're going to watch it. You're at least going to tune in and see what the score is. So don't fool anybody. No matter whether you agree with it or not, sports takes us away from everything, so you're going to watch it. So just
just watch. And here's what I just can't understand about it is the NFL for years has had drug addicts, women beaters, all these terrible things that they've done all along, and nobody said a word. I'm not watching anymore. No, they just want you to get coked up and run through a wall. That's what they don't care. But by God, you take a knee for social justice, and I'm done. Now I find that pretty hard to believe.
Your boy took a knee too, and there was an uprising in that too.
Absolutely,
and Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Here's something I am learning about America today: is you can't please everybody. Just do your thing and live life.
I guess so. That's it right there. It's like, you know what? And a thing I saw is, you complain whenever they protest quietly, and now you're complaining because they stand up and protest. So is it about the protest, or is it about something else? I wonder. Food for thought. So anyway, on to our next topic, because we just lost about half our audience right there. I'm sure we pissed off several people. Up next, the Milwaukee Bucks, the favorite in the East to get the NBA Finals to possibly play the Lakers, collapsing like a building in the playoffs. Oh, Keith Gibson, they're down 3-1. Your thoughts?
Yeah, they're just getting handed to them. I mean, Giannis.
Miami Heat.
Yeah, Giannis needs more help. He really does, and I don't think he sticks around Milwaukee much longer. He's a free agent after next year, correct?
Yeah. Small market. He's going to go to New York.
He's going to get paid a lot of money. And I'm not surprised if he doesn't get traded in the offseason somewhere big.
You know what? If I'm Milwaukee, I would fully if they would just sit down with him and say, "Are you with us or not? If not, we got to get something for you." I mean,
why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? You got to get something for it.
That's what she said.
Bolts, now you got nothing. Exactly. So that's the part that I've been getting. And Richard Jefferson, former many years player, a very good role player for the NBA, played with LeBron a few years, things like that. He came out and said that Giannis is more like Pippen and needs a Jordan. And I thought, I
don't think he's far off on that. I really don't. I think Giannis is a great player, but I think he reminds me. I agree with Jefferson on that, Richard Jefferson. I think you put him with somebody else of LeBron's caliber. Look what LeBron and AD are doing together. You put him with somebody who can move and guard. Forget it. Good night.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think Jefferson's too far off.
I think he's gone. Yeah. And your thoughts on the NBA playoffs so far? I've really enjoyed it.
I have enjoyed it. I've actually watched more NBA this season than I have in the past 15 years, to be honest with you. Probably since Jordan left. I like the bubble. I like the surrounding atmosphere in it. I think it's fun. I think they're doing the right thing. I think the games are close. Still can't stand James Harden. He walks every other possession. Doesn't play. He reminds me a lot of myself. Likes to shoot the three. Doesn't play a lick of defense.
Right, yeah. But hey, they're tied 1-1 with the Lakers.
That won't last. The Lakers will take off here.
Yeah, and also, as we know, I'm a super fan of LeBron James, Keith Gibson. And I have no shame in it and in saying that, of course. But in these playoffs and what you've seen from him, are you amazed that in year 17, with as many miles that are on those tires, yes, he didn't play in college, that's fine, but he played pro from the time he was 17 or 18 on, missed very little action, went deep into the playoffs, many years, finals forever. Are you amazed at what he's doing right now?
No,
is it amazing?
No, and here's why. He got a break in the middle of the season.
Okay.
And he doesn't have to carry the load.
That's what she said.
Yes, but no, he doesn't. He's not having to carry the load anymore, so he can dish and dime and get 10, 15 points, and AD can score. He's got other scores around him. That makes this is the best group that I've seen around him because he doesn't have to have that weight on his shoulders.
I agree. But God, he's playing well.
He is.
The way he's looking, if this continues with this kind of, like you said, this kind of team, I don't know how many more years he's got. We talked before in other episodes of just maybe a couple.
I would tell you this: if this stays the same way and he can keep these kind of guys around him, where he doesn't have to bolster so much, I could see another 3 or 4 in him. But I think the knees and legs start giving out after that. But who knows? The guy's in incredible shape. But who knows?
Yeah, they say he invests over $1 million in his health and body a year to keep it going, which it's an investment. Look how much
money he makes. I like to know how much I invest in Domino's and ice cold beer and Captain Morgan a year.
It might be similar. We'd have to look into that. All right. Speaking of NBA, the NBA is allowing guests in the bubble now, Keith Gibson. They have done extremely well with keeping COVID to nothing. And now they're allowing guests. Your thoughts?
I don't know if this is a safe move, Sam Irwin. They've done a really, really good job of keeping everybody with COVID out and the players in. I think it's actually brought some of these players more close together. Guys are, becoming more of a team. And you can see that actually on the court, too, a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot more assists, a lot more guys working with each other, talking. Bringing trainers in, bringing families in. I know they miss their families, and I would if I was in their shoes too. But you have to think about safety and healthy. I'm just not sure this is a very smart move. What's your thoughts?
Well, as I've said all along, when it comes, like college football, all these things is if you're allowing these guests in, okay, if they're tested, and if it's negative, then fine, but they got to stay there, of course. And I get it. I mean, like you said, being away from your family that long, there's only so much Zoom meetings can do. You got to have, especially when it's your little kids, you haven't seen them in a while, and that's what I wish people would, instead of I'm not watching because they protest. Look what these, they're spoiled multi-million-dollar athletes, right? But they're putting on entertainment for you away from their families. And yet you complain because they take a knee and protest something. So it's like they're not all the way spoiled because they're, away
they're pretty spoiled with the paycheck they get every week.
Well, they've also earned that paycheck.
Yes, but I think well, that's a whole different topic. We'll get into some other time. But I still think salaries are through the roof, and they're getting paid way too much in every sport.
Hey, the way I look at it is, if you got $1 billion owner, you can pay me some money too.
Right. Well, that's true.
Get your money. Yeah. Hey, if Mike Trout can make almost $500 million, so can everybody else.
Why can't we?
We just thought that talented.
No, that's true. Apparently,
such is life. All right, moving on. Djokovic at the U.S. Open. We're talking tennis now. The Joker, number 1 ranked in the world, I would assume. He's phenomenal. Yes. Chasing Roger Federer's record. Keith Gibson had a break in the match. I assume it was by accident. Yeah. Of course, those guys are pretty accurate where they want to hit a tennis ball, which is amazing. But he turned just snapped the ball, hit it to the back. It hit a lineswoman right in the throat, knocked her down. She's clutched her throat like she's been choked out, and gets ejected. Keith, it cost him a chance at a Grand Slam title where he's chasing Roger Federer, and they booted him for it. Could you believe it? I thought it was funny.
I thought it was hilarious, to be honest with you. It's like something we do on the tennis courts, except it'd probably be you hitting it and me with the throat. But you know what? It was an accident, but they kicked him out and disqualified him without really letting him even state his case. But he's came out and said, listen, I'm more worried about her than anything else. He's handled this with class and everything. So do I think they should have disqualified him? No. But they did, and so he'll move on, and it'll be fine.
And I guess it's the
You know what? The good news is, the good news is tennis got a little bit of pub.
Yeah, except for nothing. The usual. But one, if a guy like that was intentionally trying to hit a lines person, then it would have been on a serve, or he'd have rocketed the damn thing. That was just a little flip. It wasn't hit that. Yeah, I'm sure it would still suck to get hit in the throat with a tennis ball, but he didn't do it on purpose.
Well, I'm sure you know how it feels to get hit in the throat with balls.
You know what? My personal life is none of your business, and it's a family show. So, but yeah, it's not a couple drinks for. But yeah, I was like, this of all things, and like he even said, they showed him talking to the guy in charge, the judge. He's like, "You're going to kick me out,
right?"
And I am the number one. He was trying to explain to him like, "Hey, and the guy's like, nope. Which rules are rules?
That's right.
I guess, and that's the way it is. Yeah. So, but interesting. When you need ratings, kick out the number one guy. Brilliant. All right, and let's see. Last one, Keith Gibson. Are you ready?
Yep.
Sadly, we end with this. Lou Brock, an all-time Cardinal great, and Tom Seaver, an all-time one of the greatest pitchers ever to live for the New York Mets, sadly passed away this week. You, being, of course, the ultimate baseball fan, what are your thoughts on these two players?
Lou Brock was one of the best base stealers you'll ever see. Yes, Ricky's number one, and Ricky loves being Ricky. And Keith loves being Keith. But Lou Brock was one of the greatest players all around. Also a good person for baseball. He was out there and he meet people, and he was very great for the game. Tom Seaver's one of the most underrated pitchers his numbers are way up here. And yes, he's one of the greats, but I think he's underrated when it comes to how great he really was. If you look at his number, I know Shane Stoltzeifer put it on the Behind the Mic Show Facebook group, which you should join, on his numbers and where he ranks, and it's amazing. So baseball lost two of their greats, two great spokespeople for the game as well, and the two players that you may never see again. Period.
Yeah. And it just takes you back to, granted, those guys were before our time, basically, when we were watching baseball, but just watching the highlights and hearing the stories, and it just takes you back to when baseball was baseball. Whenever they played the game the right way. A player like Lou Brock is somebody that I would have loved to watch play every day.
Hands down.
Because he played he played it hard. Everything he did was 100%. Like you said, he was a gentleman. Never a bad word said about the man, ever. Tom Seaver, as I think Vin Scully, there's a name for you of baseball lore, and maybe one of the greatest broadcasters of all time, if not the, said the best right-handed pitcher he's ever seen.
That says a lot.
That says a lot when Vin Scully, because he's seen a few pitchers in his life. But yeah, nothing but great things about those guys. There was a cool story that came out that I guess during an All-Star game near the end of Lou Brock's career, he was a little bit older, and I guess it was Tom Seaver's first one maybe or something like that. And Lou Brock walked up to him thinking he was just an attendant in the locker room and asked him for hey, can you get me a bottle of water or a towel, or it was something like that. And it turns out it was Tom Seaver. He didn't know it at the time. So way before social media, before you actually met these people. But, just some cool stories. I seen a story about they had Lou Brock and Yachty, and they were talking to him. And they said something about, Lou, would you steal on Yachty? Would you be able to steal? Or Yachty, would you be able to throw out Lou? And they both said at the same time, depends who's pitching. So that was pretty cool, that two greats could sit down like that. But, yeah, it's a sad day. Once again, 2020 continues to suck. And just bad news after bad news. It seems like there's a lot of good.
And the other bad news is we're still here.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Sorry, folks. We continue on. But yeah, so unfortunately, two greats lost, but that's just life, I guess. So anyway, Keith Gibson, that is it for the Fast Five. What do we have coming up for the folks at home next?
Coming up next, after a quick break and a word from our sponsors, we will come back with Bees Trees Trivia. We've got 9 weeks in a row with a winner. Can we make it 10?
Ooh.
10. Billy Bob says 10. Can we make it 10 weeks in a row with a winner, and we'll have our Dumb Criminal of the Week right here on the Behind the Mic Show from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill.
Bees Trees, your local ISA certified arborist with over 10 years experience, specializing in tree removal, tree trimming, and with free estimates. Call Greg Miller of Bees Trees today at 217-260-4551.
Welcome back to the Behind the Mic Show from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill. Keith Gibson alongside Sam Irwin. Fast Five this week, Sam. We got a little long, but a lot of things to talk about. It's kind of nice, you know what?
Yeah.
But now we're going to go for winner number 10 weeks in a row with our Bees Trees Trivia question of the week. And when you hear that music,
Behind the Mic Show Trivia Time, presented by Bees Trees.
That's Greg Miller.
Like a sweet lullaby.
That's Greg Miller trimming some bushes around a big deck.
That's right. He's so good at it. So good.
Yeah, he is. But hey, let's give, can we make it number 10? Well, congratulations, as I said earlier in the show, to Heather and Dallas Dury, our winners last week. So we appreciate them and everybody else who's watching. If you're watching tonight, here's your Bees Trees Trivia question of the week. How many stolen bases did Lou Brock have in his career?
Ooh. Very good. Give it to him again, Keith Gibson.
That's what she
One more
said.
time. Yes, one more time.
How many stolen bases did Lou Brock have in his career? Give us an answer, and you win the Bees Trees Trivia. A nice shirt and hat from the Behind the Mic Show. Never know what else I'll throw in the box either, Sammy, to ship to you.
Well, that's what she said.
That's true. That's true.
Yes,
You can tell we've been away from each other for a week.
The show is off the rails.
Hey, well, that brings us to our one of our newest sponsors. It brings us to our Bill Atwood, sponsored at North Wayne Insurance. Our, in your favorite segment, Sam Irwin, our Dumb Criminal of the Week. We thank Bill for being our sponsor at North Wayne Insurance. Make sure you stop in and see him for all your insurance needs. Or if you just know a dumb criminal, send him his way too.
Absolutely. You will need insurance if you know dumb criminals.
Right.
That's just the way it goes. Yes. All right, Keith Gibson, here we go. My favorite spot of the week. Vero Beach, Florida. We're back in Florida. Imagine
Always easy to find down there.
Yeah, oh, man. Yes, sir. Vero Beach woman pulls gun, poops in kitchen after finding hubby with another woman. A 33-year-old woman and her older boyfriend were sleeping in their Vero Beach bedroom about 2:30 a.m. when the boyfriend's wife stormed in with a rifle. The wife, identified as Brenda Schumann, 51, cougar, pointed the weapon at her 42-year-old husband and his younger girlfriend, threatening to kill them both, according to accounts given by Schumann's husband and his girlfriend. The husband got the gun away, but that didn't stop Schumann's apparent rampage. She urinated on the carpet outside the master bedroom, defecated on the kitchen floor, grabbed a second rifle, and started destroying Christmas decorations and other things. She was quoted as saying, "I found him in bed with a naked chick. What was I supposed to do?" Schumann is quoted as telling an Indian River County Sheriff's deputy following December 21st events, according to a recently released sheriff's report. Schumann and her husband are divorcing and have been separated for months. Her husband and his girlfriend told investigators. They said they didn't know what prompted Schumann to show up at home at this location at such an hour and start an armed confrontation. I'm guessing drugs or alcohol might be involved, but you never know. Schumann eventually left the second rifle in the dining room and vacated the premises. Investigators found her at an apartment in the area. Without being asked any questions, Schumann said, and the famous quote is again, "I found him in bed with a naked chick. What was I supposed to do?" And that's a good question, Keith Gibson. What do you do when you find your certificate? Do you just poop on the floor? Or what do you do?
I guess so.
So that is, we've all got options. It's better than the alternative with the gun, I assume. So it could have been a lot worse.
So, I'm not even gonna get into how she pooped on the floor. I mean, she have her nightgown on. I mean, I just figured some older woman with a one of those big, like moo cow nightgowns on.
That's a good question.
Just dropping trowel or.
Yeah. So she was arrested on charges of including aggravated assault, domestic violence, aggravated assault, battery, and resisting arrest without violence. Didn't get a charge for the pooping, I guess, so because maybe it was inside the house. If you did it out in the street, it'd be like, indecent exposure or something like that. So, but yeah, that's your dumb criminal of the week.
All right, thanks to Bill Atwood for his sponsorship of the Dumb Criminal of the Week. We're going to take a quick break, come right back, and we'll hear from Ira Dean, country music singer-songwriter, right here on the Behind the Mic Show. Imagine working on your financial plan with an advisor who is as committed to your success as you are. Imagine no more. With Cole Duke at Benjamin F. Edwards & Company, you will receive the informed investment advice you need from experienced professionals at a firm guided by one enduring principle: doing what's right for clients. Edwards, it's a family name long associated with client first service. Now open in Flora, Illinois. Call for an appointment today at 618-508-8050. Benjamin F. Edwards & Company, investments for generations. Member SIPC. Welcome back to Behind the Mic Show from the Cheap Seat Sports Bar and Grill. Keith Gibson alongside me each and every week, Sam. We're going to bring in our special guest this week, and one that I've got to meet personally before down there in good old Clay County. But Ira Dean is with us. And Ira, you have had a wonderful music career now down in Nashville. And as you told us right before we came back on, that getting ready to work with Montgomery Gentry here. So let's get to know Ira Dean a little bit. What do we say about this evening?
Get to know me. I like long walks on the beach.
Ooh,
My favorite color is camo. I like the smell of perfume and gunpowder.
Very nice. What makes you, Ira? I mean, what makes you?
I don't know what makes me tick. Maybe because I'm 6'3" and I'm a proud owner of a 3-pound Chihuahua.
Perfect. That's it. That's
exactly. It keeps me in touch with my sensitive side.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah. And what's the Chihuahua's name?
Missy Elliott.
That's fantastic.
She's little. She's brown. I got attitude. I love her.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Well, Ira, let's talk about a little bit about your career. For the people who haven't, who maybe this is their first introduction to you, you got started a while ago down with Trick Pony, correct?
I started even long before that. I was lucky enough. I was playing this little club when I was about 20 years old, and this kid, I say he's a kid, I was getting ready to go back home to North Carolina, and he's like, "Man, move in with me. You don't have to pay rent." And it happened to be Johnny Cash and June Carter's son, and I didn't know it. So I went and immediately, from paying $200 a month for a couch to staying at Johnny and June's house and open up concerts for Johnny and June, and then singing on Johnny Cash record when I was like 20. So so it took off from there. And then I ended up I did 2 records with John, and then
So you struggled early, is what you're saying. I mean, it was really
yeah, I really
right
did.
out of the gate, yeah.
Then I struggled after that. No, and then I was a maintenance man in North Carolina, and I got electrocuted. Next thing I know, I'm in Nashville, living, and staying in the round room at Johnny's house. But
Wow.
I ended up becoming a bass player for many artists. Like I was with Tanya Tucker for a few years, played bass for her, and then Trick Pony took off, and then the rest is history. I mean, we sold over 1 million units and ended up winning the AMA and the ACM and nominated for a Grammy, and
right.
all that took off. And
The famous song "Poor Me," right? I mean, that's what really, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote that drunk under a pool table with Keith and Heidi.
Fantastic.
That launched my career. That launched
right.
my drinking career. I was like, hey, if I get drunk and write songs, it makes me money. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should try that.
Later,
yeah. Don't know if you'd recommend that, but yeah, I mean, that song really, was probably the hit of the year, was it not?
It was, it really did well. I mean, it took off. It's still like one of the top 10 karaoke songs, and it's almost 20 years later. Can't believe that's been 20 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, it launched my whole career. As far as after Trick Pony is songwriter, I ended up getting a solo deal there for a while, but how I got in touch with Montgomery Gentry is I've been lucky enough so far. They've cut like 7 of my songs. Including I had a #1 with them, One in Every Crowd. I wrote that. And then, of course, we lost T-Roy 3 years ago today. I cannot believe it.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And I just got off the phone with Eddie, and we go back in. He's doing his first solo record. And I'm playing on it. And I've got 5 songs on that so far. So
awesome.
Wow. So what do you like better? Do you like performing and singing better, or do you actually like the songwriting aspect better?
Oh, there's no comparison. I mean, I didn't, growing up, I didn't sit in front of the mirror and play Airpin and just go, "Ooh, yeah, that's a great song." I was like, the songwriter never gets the girls. I was, I was like playing air guitar and pretending I was playing to a sold out crowd. And there's nothing better than having that much energy coming back at you. When you're writing songs, you're sitting in a room, a stinky ass room with like 2 other guys going, "This sucks. This ain't the music business I wanted." But that's part of the business. It's a whole different. You're using a whole different side of your brain when you're writing songs. And I love writing songs, and I love hearing people cut them, and I love being in the studio too and playing on people's. And I'm honored when people ask me to play on their record. But as far as there's no better buzz than playing for a crowded place.
What's the largest crowd you've ever played in front of?
84,000.
My God. Wow.
Yeah,
did you get nervous before that, or were you just excited? I mean, what was that like before you went out for an 84,000 people?
What's funny is I never got nervous. I got more nervous playing little bars where, like growing up playing bars, I'd get nervous going, God, if I hope I don't screw up, because they're like right there. But you're playing for 84,000, it's just a sea of people. I think you have sensory overload. It's almost like skydiving. You don't really realize you're falling that fast. I mean, it's like it's sensory overload. So play for 84,000 was just. I just remember looking at the teleprompters a lot to see if if the cameras were on me or not.
And damn it, they better focus.
Get on me. I was looking at it going, nope, still Heidi. And I'd be playing on, they got the drummer now.
Bass player can't get any love.
I can't get no love. I was like, just right up in the cameras. Come on. Look up, nothing. Can I get a camera on me?
Oh my!
I did see. Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I saw in September. Then you're going to play with Aaron Lewis as well.
I'm on that. I'm on that whole tour.
Yeah, which is awesome. Aaron is. I love his country stuff that he's doing. Kind of going back to his roots and doing some of that stuff. It's amazing. He's an amazing artist as well. How much fun do you guys have? Because it's not the first time you've played with Aaron.
No, me and Aaron are best friends.
Really, that's awesome.
Well, that explains why he has me as an opening act. It's like, I think he could get somebody better. It's like, Who do you want as an opening act? I want somebody whose career peaked on radio about 12 years ago. You know? Thank God he's my friend. So we're hunting buddies and golfing buddies, and he comes out to the house and stays. And anyways, he was looking for an opening act, and just so happens that I just happened to be there, and he's like, dude, I don't know if you want to do this or whatever. And I was like, are you kidding? Hell yeah. So yeah, we go back out. We were supposed to head out Friday for Indy, but that show got canceled because of COVID. So Saturday's in Wisconsin. We're in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
That'll be awesome.
Okay.
That'll be a great show
Yeah.
too. You both put on fantastic music and really get to the roots of things, and so that'll be. I just love both your music, so I think it'll be an awesome show.
Aaron's just a. I tell you what, who would have ever thought that the best country singer would be some neck tatted out ex-rocker?
Well, if you have talent, you have talent.
Yeah, he can sing, man. He can sing and he can write. He's the real deal. I can't say anything bad about that dude.
Right.
Except for his opening act. I don't know why he picked that one. I'll rag him about that.
Well, you know what? From the songs that I've heard you put out by yourself, I'd say you got a little bit of talent too. So I think he's pretty understanding of that.
I got blackmail material.
Perfect. Hey, that's worth its weight in gold right there. Yeah. So speaking of that, so you were a trick pony for several years. The band broke up, unfortunately. Maybe it's just, people got to go their separate ways. Y'all want your own careers. That's fine. So what have you found? What do you like being a solo act now? Do you miss the band days of having that group together? What are your thoughts on that? Which do you like better?
I tell you, that's a hard one. There's nothing better in the planet. There's nothing better than being in a band. There's nothing better when the music's right, and it's like you look over to your left or right and see everybody, and everybody's like on the same page, and it's almost like the music's like a heartbeat. It's taking over its own thing, and everybody's playing really good together. There's nothing better than that. On the other hand, there's nothing worse than being in a band when you don't agree and you're not all playing great, and but mainly when you're not on the same page musically and you're arguing over songs, and there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse. And that it was time for us to call it quits. When we called it, we probably should have called it quits. I don't know. Personality wise, we probably should have called it quits a long time before we did, because we weren't getting along. But at the same time, I wish we didn't call it quits, because I think we could have made the best record of our career. I think we could have turned it around and been a lot bigger than we were.
That's what she said.
Well, sometimes with controversy, sometimes with controversy and disagreements, that can, just like whenever, someone goes through a breakup or something, you write a great, love song or something like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes that can lead to magic, even if you guys don't get along, I guess. So.
I mean, some of the best stuff you write and some of the best stuff you perform is when you're not getting along. It's just we started always not getting along. So I wish we wouldn't have broken up, but at the same time, everything has a season, man. Winter, fall, spring, summer, love, bands, we all have a season. There's a time for things to end, and it was time for us to end. Heidi had to do her solo career. I was getting a lot of songs cut, and I had a solo deal offered to me. I had to take that. So it was time for us to call it quits. I don't even know what the hell Keith's doing. He had to do a Blue Jeans commercial. And then, he had to go chase somebody else.
Yeah.
Or something.
So is the door closed on a possible reunion down the road? Is that ever an option of you guys getting back together for another round?
I thought if you would have asked me this a while ago, I'd say, man, I'm open for any discussion. But we tried to get back together like 5 years ago, and it was like putting sour milk in the fridge and going, hey, let's wait 10 years and see if this tastes any better.
not so much.
Like, nope, this is still
Fair enough.
I think I'm done.
And plus you're doing well. I mean, on your own anyway. Obviously.
Yeah, and I don't have to. The good thing, the bad part about not being in a band is you don't get to share those experiences with somebody else. You have to call somebody and go, dude, we did this show, it was amazing. You know, you're not up front sharing those memories. That's the bad thing. The good thing is you know, I don't have to deal with all the BS anymore. You know, like, if I like a song, I cut it. I don't argue about it. If we show up late, if I show up late somewhere, it's my fault. I'm not waiting on two other people. We were always late. That bothers me. I hate being late for stuff because it makes me feel like it kind of puts across a thing of my time is more important than somebody else's. It kind of belittles somebody, and everybody's time's worth. We only get so many summers, so you know, minutes, seconds, they all count. And so my big thing is I always try to show up on time for everything. And you know, when you got a girl in the band, that doesn't always work. And that was
waiting on a woman. What a surprise!
That was my biggest gripe. It was like, can we just be on time? I feel horrible. So I can honestly say that since 2008, when we broke up, I don't think I've been late for a meeting since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's good.
Sometimes it's meant to happen.
I haven't had to walk into another room and bite my tongue or scream at a wall since 2008. So there's give and take.
Did you ever dance out your anger? I mean, did you ever like throw fists in the air? I mean, is that
did I ever throw fists in the air? No, we fought. Me and Keith fought. We weren't afraid of scrap. I mean, it never got too bad. They always broke them up early, or I was way too drunk to fight or something. But yeah, we got in some serious. Yeah, man. There's some bad ones.
Wow.
There's the bad ones.
Like a family.
Oh yeah, it's like a three-way marriage. It's seriously.
Oh, wow.
And so with a marriage on 1-on-1, you pick your time to battle. You know, it's like okay. When a three-way marriage, man, it's like okay. Me and this one's doing good, but this one hates me. So it's like always like an argument going on. And I'm not like that. I'm not that guy.
Right.
Speaking of the guy who Ira Dean is, let's talk about what you like to do outside the music business. Down in Nashville, what do you like to do? I know you like to fish. I saw you've hunted some alligator.
I just got back from hunting alligator.
How was that?
I got a 9-footer.
Oh, wow.
That's
a little bit intense, isn't it?
It was a little intense, especially, you know, after you kill them, like they still move for like hours, hours and hours. He tried to climb out of the boat like 3 hours later. Anything that you shoot between the eyes and it still moves is possessed by the devil. So
and heavy. A 9-foot alligator would probably take a bit
took
to
like
get
4
up out
of
of
us.
water.
It took 4 of us to pull it in. Yeah, he was huge. Here, hold on, I'll see. This probably won't work. But, you know, it works on like Jay Leno and stuff like that when they do stuff.
We're same production value here.
Yeah, not close to that.
Same budget. Yeah.
See, you can't tell. Dang it, it's too bright.
It is
but
bright.
It's on your Facebook page, right? Your Ira Dean Facebook page where everybody can find you on there.
You know what? My Facebook page, everybody like wants to go to my Facebook page, but my personal Facebook page is maxed out. My artist page is still got plenty of room. So go to the artist page if you want to follow me on Facebook. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, go there because you can't have too many of those. And I need people.
Fair enough. We will follow.
I need friends. Yes. Ira Dean. I think it's Ira Dean Bass on Instagram. It's the one with the blue dot. I finally got a blue dot.
Nice.
Apparently,
ooh, that means you're certified. Ooh.
Yeah, apparently they finally realized it's like, why would this guy imitate Ira? I mean,
It's gotta be legit.
Probably pick somebody way bigger.
Right. Right. Now, you said you lived with the Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
So what is, I mean, I am back. When I read that, I was like, holy crap. I mean, what?
I wouldn't say, I mean, it's like I stayed there. I didn't like live full time. I stayed there a lot. It was my place to stay. And then he ended up giving me a duplex, and I stayed in the duplex. But John was like my dad, my second dad.
Wow. So what was that? I mean, I mean, how much can you? I'm sure you learned a ton from him about the music business or about songwriting, or what was that like?
Not so much. Just watching him, the music business. It's why he's such an icon now. But during that time, a lot of people don't remember, or they might not know. Like during those times, '93, maybe '91 to '93, somewhere in there. Like Polygram dropped him. He got dropped by his record label and about crushed him. It you know. And now you think Johnny Cash couldn't be dropped by a record label. He didn't have a label. Polygram, Polydor, whatever, dropped him. And then Rick Rubin talked him into, said, let's go make some records, and fired him back up. But yeah, I really kind of got a bitter taste in my mouth over the business when I saw that. I was like, how can this guy not have a deal?
Right.
And so, but he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about the business. There's peaks and valleys, there's ups and downs, and you just got to do what you're doing. And if you're not happy doing it, stop.
Yeah, very true.
He gave me the best advice on writing songs. He was like, stick with the truth, even though what'd he say? He said, son, when writing songs, you stick with the truth because people recognize the truth right away, even though it might have been years since they heard it. Never forget that.
Wow. That's deep.
Boy, that's a good thing to live by too, right there, for sure.
Yeah.
Not only writing songs, but that's a good motto to live by.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So
I live by that. I try to stick with the truth, and because you stick with it, the truth is always way bigger and way crazier than something you can make up anyway, And with my songs, everybody goes, did that really happen? I'm like, man, I'm not really that smart to make up stuff any grander than that. That really happened. Most of my stuff really happened. Not all of it, but a lot of it.
Wow.
Well, Ira, what's on the horizon for you? We won't take up just a couple more minutes of your time, but what's on the horizon for you? I know you've got the tour coming up with Aaron Lewis. What else? You got some music coming out?
Okay, I'm going in the studio tomorrow from 10 to 2 with Eddie Montgomery doing his record. Then the next day, I'm in the studio with Johnny Cash, John Carter Cash, Johnny and June's son, playing guitar on something he called me up to do. Then I head out Friday night. I'm playing Oshkosh, Wisconsin with Aaron Lewis. And then I was going to I'm doing that whole tour to the end of the year. And then I got a lot of hunting to do with my buddy Michael Waddell and all that, and Bone Collector guys. But I was almost gonna not do another record, and then I was talked into doing another record just recently. So I think I'm gonna start working on a record in December.
Fantastic.
Good for you.
Well, if you need some backup, we got your backup vocals.
Oh, well, of course, I was going to ask y'all that, but I didn't want to put you,
Yeah, I mean,
spot.
Well, yeah, I'm like you. I'm a solo act with my musical talent. You can't put me in the corner. I got to be out front. So I mean,
especially if you drink that Don Julio right there.
Damn right, I sing like a golden-throated sparrow, boy, whatever that's. So you said you're going to do some hunting. What is your favorite thing to hunt? What is your go-to? Oh,
I love deer hunting and then hog hunting. I love killing those boars.
Two things. Have you ever hunted in Southern Illinois for whitetail?
I went to Southern Illinois University, so I have hunted there. But I have never killed a whitetail there, and I need to go back because I only hunted there twice.
Oh wow, yeah, definitely. And then
pretty sure we can find some land for you to hunt.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah. And then number two, if you want a good hog hunt, I can hook you up with our buddy. It's a hunting guy down in Texas that will get you any amount of hunts.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, Matt McGrew is his name. Phenomenal hunting guy down. He's about an hour south of San Antonio. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. So
I'm familiar with San Antonio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So he can.
I spent 28 days there. It was awesome.
Oh, 28. Hell of a month.
It was a nice little stay.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah. Was there any bars involved or no?
Was there any bars? No. Well,
okay. Yeah.
Starlight Recovery Center. Thank you so much.
Okay. and you know what? I read that too, and congratulations to you, as it said you were, recovering from that. So.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of bars in my life, So it was either go to Starlight or go to a nice, comfy jail. So
Right. Well, you made the right decision. Yeah, and good for you.
Thank you, San Antonio, because I've been straight ever since. So it's good.
That is awesome. Very good. You know, it takes a lot of courage to go in and get that done.
Agreed.
You know? That's for damn sure. So impressive. And the last question, Keith Gibson, I got to know, with somebody with this kind of talent, and he's got the hair as well. We're doing a tournament right now on our Facebook page where people can vote, and it's the best hair band of all time. And we're in about the Sweet 16 right now. But if you could give us maybe a championship match and a winner, who do you think is the best hair band of all time?
Best hair band of all time?
Yeah. Who is your pick?
Band-wise or just hair? I mean,
I would say not just the hair, but just overall band, songs, talent. Who would you pick as the greatest hair band?
Can't go wrong with Poison.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's a number one seed. Uh-huh.
And then if you're going to go with the full Kentucky waterfall hair along with the growth, because back then everybody had the shaved face, but then Kip Winger came out with the with the damn shave, the little and the hair.
Wow. I mean,
and then towards the last record that came out in that big hair days, Nelson. That was some hair.
Lisa Herman, a friend of the show, will just be giddy because that was her pick, Nelson. Just such beautiful, long, straight hair, flowing. I mean,
God. Can you imagine being in Nelson and putting that album out and they instantly went platinum, and then Nirvana came out right after them and just killed the hair thing?
Just gone. Yeah, I was like, well, that was fun for a month.
Oh, great. I guess I'll go start selling cars.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's right. Yeah, he's done that for sure. Awesome. Well, we will see if your pick to win, Poison, ends up winning the whole thing. So
Poison's good.
It is good.
Yeah, and they might very well do that. Yep.
I mean, Bon Jovi, I don't even consider Bon Jovi a hair band. That's a hair singer.
There you go.
But as far as the hair glam hair band, that was, I mean, there's Motley Crue. I mean, Crue as far as music, I like Crue better than any of them. But Poison just had the whole. I mean, hell, Ricky the drummer was a hairstylist. When you've got a hairstylist in your band, you should win best hair band.
Correct.
Oh my God! And I mean, of all things, what a time to be alive for him. He's got great music, and he can style everyone's hair.
He probably did. He aquanetted everybody and spent a little extra time on CC DeVille. CC DeVille had big hair, but then he also had had the flock of seagulls going too.
Mm-hmm. What a time to be alive.
That's right. Well, Ira, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We appreciate your time. Have fun on tour, man. I know you and Aaron will just absolutely just kill it out there. Hopefully, maybe you can get around. If you're over in Indy, maybe we can get up and go over and see you, and we appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
All right.
Yep. Thanks again, Ira.
There's something you never get on your Zoom interviews. Doggy porn.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break and come back right here on the Behind the Mic Show for the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill.
For more than 150 years, you've believed in Busey. Today, more than ever, we believe in you. To our healthcare workers, first responders, and local businesses, you're central to the communities we're proud to call home. Busey's grateful to partner with you and your families through life's ups and downs, today and for generations to come. Because as neighbors helping neighbors, we're in this together. Busey, grateful to serve the communities we call home.
Morgan's Place Canine Salon has been offering exclusive one-on-one grooming services in the Champaign area for over 12 years, using all natural products, giving lots of love to your dog. Visit www.morgansplace.me to learn more. Morgan's Place, making dogs beautiful.
Wrapping up another edition of the Behind the Mic Show from the Cheap Seat Sports Bar and Grill and the Cat Palace down in Paducah, Kentucky. Keith Gibson, Sam Irwin. Thank you to our guest Ira Dean this evening for coming on, country music singer, songwriter. We do appreciate him. Had a Fast Five, B Street's Trivia, your Dumb Criminal Week, and as we wrap things up, we just want to make sure to remind you to join our Facebook group, the Behind the Mic Show Facebook group. Interactive tournaments, great memes, great stories, up to date in sports, and of course, you can always find specials for the BTM shop on there as well, like our new shirts coming out, Sam Irwin. We've got new Julian's Drive-In shirts coming out very soon for purchase that you can purchase. So, and a limited quantity, so you're going to want to jump on it quick.
Oh, that's what she said.
Thank you. On a silver platter right there for you, Daddy-O. Or a
Way to
Julian
serve
splatter,
it up.
whichever way you want to look at that. But
That's right, that's
but as
right.
we wrap things up here, we want to thank everyone, our sponsors. Make sure you continue to share the show and help us grow right here on the Behind the Mic Show. So for my tag team partner, Sam Irwin, I am Keith Gibson. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week right here on the Behind the Mic Show.
Bye, everybody.